Hey guys, welcome back. It's your brother in Christ, Weston. Thanks for joining me today. So today's article comes out of End Times Headlines. Let's get into it. Okay guys, let's see here. Man, I've got two articles I'm actually going to cover today because I believe they're related. I'm going to show you why. All right, so we've talked about this. Elon Musk sets to demo Neuralink. That's my son in the background singing. If you all singing the Garbage Truck song, it's a good song. Elon Musk set to demo Neuralink brain chip next month that will allow you to control computers with your mind. Now, we talked about this. This is not new. We've talked about the severity of this and the moral implications of this. We've even watched a video of how it goes into like a certain vein and then it webs over and it allowed a man who was like a paraplegic or paralyzed to be able to use his thoughts and be able to type. You can see here is a picture of just a chip on the brain. This is transhumanism. And it's going on the brain, right? So that it's like, if this is the thing that functions everything, right? Makes all, sends the electrical signals down to what it wants to do. If the brain can do, and thoughts, pretty much its thinking can produce what it wants. The thought, I want to type this out to a computer. What else can somebody do to that body, right? This is where we get like cyborgs. This is where we get Terminator. This is where we get Skynet. This is where we get the, people who talk about a singularity, like where machine becomes sentient and it adopts and it becomes this, this just pneuma that's given to it, a spirit that's given to it, life. Let's read. It says here, Elon Musk has delayed a major demo of his controversial new brain chip. The Neuralink technology has already shocked the world, showing a monkey play ping pong with its thoughts. Or play pong with its thoughts, but the main goal is to implement the chips into people's brains, allowing those with paralysis to control things like smartphones and computers. Smartphones and computers, ways to get to the interwebs, right? To get to the internet, to be able to do things. That's all you need to do. So I don't need to use my hands. I can do everything with my mind. It's a form of like telekinesis, right? It's a superpower, right? And if you're able to use smartphones and computers, then we talked about like being able to upload your consciousness to something and get it into a new body. Like, goodness gracious, just like, it's nuts. It is super nuts. I have so many thoughts in my head because what else do you need besides a smartphone and computer to like want to live forever, right? The way technologically, like if you were able to do this and it were to happen, it makes sense. A smartphone and computer, I can be everywhere and everywhere at the same time. I can be omniscient, at least on Earth, places with technology and satellites and all that stuff, right? It's man, that stuff is crazy. Omnipresent, all places. Omniscient would be all-knowing. An update was due to be presented by the firm on October 31st, but Musk, 51, I guess his age, said it would now take place a month later on November 30th. The world's richest man didn't give any explanation for the delay. He simply tweeted, Neuralink show and tell on November 30th. Founded in 2016, Neuralink is developing implantable brain chips that are inserted into regions of the mind that control movement. Eventually, the company wants to provide its implants to people to boost their intelligence. So now you can have superhighways and superconductors, just like computers have, where they have operating system and buses that will be able to take in more. And then you can have like an SSD drive, which is able to store and process information faster. So then it's literally like you have to start having certain implants for your body. What is it? I watched this video. It's this doctor. I forgot his name, but he's doing a review of an anime called Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and it's just type in Doctor something does report of anime Cyberpunk Edge Runners. And what he's doing is, it's a guy who's bald, got a goatee and glasses, and he's wearing some red red scrubs. I say that because I was watching the video, and if you don't know what Cyberpunk is, it's a video game, but it's also like it was an anime that they adopted just this year, and it's about humans becoming cybernetic, right? So then they get cybernetic arms, they get better lungs, cybernetic implants for their spine, for their eyes, and you can start to see that the person becomes such a way with their legs. You think of anything, literally everything, down to like even the nether regions, okay? Like everything, eyes, head. And he talks about how that relates to health, and how the person, once they start to get one thing, let's say they get something in their spine, and their spine sends all the signals out to the body from the brain, but then the brain has to be able to keep up with this processes of what the spine is doing, or the body has to be able to keep up, or you get like super legs, right? And you're moving too fast. Well, the body has to get rid of some of that blood. He talks about it from a health perspective of, you're going to have to get other cybernetic implants to deal with the cybernetic implants that you're doing, because it's putting so much stress on the body cannot handle it, or you'll die. And slowly but surely, when you watch the main character, his name is David, he ends up becoming more and more cybernetic, to a point where he's like not full on cyborg, but he has just a torso in his head, and his arms have been removed, his legs have been removed, and he exists in an exoskeleton. But as he got there, he goes further and further and further down this way of becoming more cybernetic, because he wants to be able to hit faster, move faster, think faster, breathe more, breathe better. And it makes me think of exactly what this is. The moment you get a brain chip, you're gonna have to get something else, because your body's not gonna be able to process all this information, or you'll like overload, right? You need a better brain. You need something that goes inside the brain, more storage. But then if you're trying to move and you're thinking so fast, your body can't react, so you need maybe a better spine. Then you have super legs, and your heart can't keep up, so you need something implanted in your heart. And so it just goes on, and it's so interesting. It's transhumanism all over. But when I think about Neuralink and how we talked about, like, there's this underlying thing, like it's for paralysis, but he says, I want them to become intelligent. That's like, they have better intelligence, a super intelligence. Like, can your brain process that with this chip? Is it gonna need more? And then is that hackable? Yes. And it's like, it's not just one thing. Now, I'm gonna show you why this makes sense. There's a chip in somebody's brain, Neuralink we're talking about. Let's go to this next article. And the next article right here, let me pull it up. I just had it, here it is. This came out yesterday, in all things Mark of the Beast. Man implants chip from his bank in his hand so that he doesn't have to carry a wallet. So just completely different things, right? One is for paralysis, supposedly, right? And people to be able to think better at some point. And a guy is like, you know what? I don't want to have to use my wallet anymore. I'm just going to put a chip in my body so I can do things right here, right? And it looks like he's holding up his right hand. So there it is, right? You'll see the picture. I don't obviously have it. Let's just review the article right quick. Viewers have been branded a man idiotic for having a chip from his bank surgically implanted into his hand so he doesn't have to carry a wallet. This morning today covered the story of a father being the first ever Brit to get implanted with his bank card details, allowing him to pay with just his hand. Arnie Suzuki, 40, paid euro 350, I think that's what that is, 350 pounds, to have a new technology inserted into his hand in Germany. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not pounds or something. I don't know what the currency is. Holly Willoughby explained that the NHS healthcare assistant from West London has a safety pin-sized chip placed in his hand by surgeons. Phil Schofield remained quiet on the subject, whilst the morning regular Giles Brandon called the new technology marvelous. However, viewers were unconvinced and speedily took to Twitter to express their horror on the new technology. Many people expressed their shock to the ITV was giving the story airspace, with one user tweeting, yes, let's all go and have a chip implanted into your organic body. The mark of the beast. I haven't reviewed this article, but that is hilarious. And you know that's what a believer would say. If somebody's reading their Bible, that's what they're going to say. People need to wake up. Cannot believe. #this morning are pushing this. I guess most of you think the Bible is a work of fiction. Newsflash, isn't it? Someone else posted, oh God, this chipped conversation is going to bring the crazies out on Twitter. It is, isn't it? This #this morning. Father of two, Arnie, told the son, using the chip takes a bit of learning. It's like a normal card, but you have to be more precise when you tap. It means you don't have to keep a wallet with you at all times. Giles referred to his son having a smartwatch comparable to the new technology. He exclaimed, it's the same thing. No, it's not, because a smartwatch is something I can take off. You obviously can take that out of your hand, but you put it inside the body. This is outside the body. This is just an accessory. This is something I don't have to have. That is something that you are literally grooming yourself to take, and the rest of the world is going to take that. Is the mark of the beast going to be some kind of chip? I don't know, but I know for sure, and I've mentioned on here plenty of times, that when we talk about mark of the beast and we look at the Greek letters, or the Greek words for that, it literally means right hand means dextrose, literally means right hand. That's the Greek word for it. And the word for forehead means space between the eyes. So I don't think this is in some like intellectual thing. It literally is some mark, and the word mark means charagma. It means an etching or a scratching. So an etching or a scratching on the right hand, or a space between the eyes. So it doesn't make any sense that this would be something spiritual or head knowledge, because I'm not etching and scratching something spiritually. I'm putting something physically on the body that shows itself, that shows worship to the beast, worship to the Antichrist, right? Worship via the false prophet. Um, and so we have a chip that's going in the brain, and everybody's yay, and then you have a little grain of rice, and people are like, oh, I can't believe this. Like the dichotomy between that is totally opposite, because I would be terrified of both. But just even sitting there thinking, like, if you're gonna put a chip in my brain, if I had to choose one, it would be the grain of rice, because it's a grain of rice. There's an actual chip going in my brain. Oh yeah, praise God, we're gonna do this. I want to make everybody super intelligent, right? So people will do it for an incentive. If I'm gonna be, maybe I'll be able to be like RoboCop, or I'll think faster, or I'll be, I'll be like all knowing, and I don't know, it's literally a dreamland after that, right? Like it's because if it benefits the body and boosts it to make it better than what it is, like a superhuman, right? The reason why I mentioned that video to you from the doctor, I forgot his name. Like I said, doctor analyzes cyberpunk edge runners with health, and he's a bald head, glasses, goatee, red scrubs, white guy. It's because as he was showing, the more implants the person went with, the more they were becoming more and more cybernetic and less human. And so at some point, the body can't support its natural functions, so they become full cyborgs. And that's obviously where they have, I don't know if people who are like that just have a brain and a spinal cord and that's it, and the rest of their body is cybernetic and that's the only flesh they have. I don't know how that works, but obviously it's a cartoon, right? So it's not necessarily reality, but it's not far from reality. And where we see this idea of transhumanism going, and this idea of the image of the beast, right? Man, yeah, okay, I'm talking too much here. I don't want to lose you guys. So yeah, these two articles are nuts. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one.